They, I was thinking the other day, these would probably have to be the most spoiled kids in human history. As
I,
far as people people caring about what they want and what they need. I
hmm
mean, if you hear conversations about, uh, if you hear conversations of from older people, from like maybe our grandparents' generation,
yeah.
um, nobody cared about kids. you know,
Yeah,
and
right.
like nobody cared about. I'm not saying that no one cares about kids, but nobody really cared about what kids want, needed, or expect. It's like this is what you're going to do. You're going to shut up. You're going to shut up. My parents used to tell me, "Be seen, not heard." You
Yep.
know, and we're talking now. We have a generation of learners who they are front and center. They
Mhm.
expect to be the center of the attention, the center of attention. They're the main star of the house. Everything revolves around them, and it's not their fault because we did this. And
Yeah.
sometimes I even do, sometimes I have to even think about myself on how I treat my children. And these kids, and that's a good thing. That shows that we have advanced in the human race, that we
hmm
care about our kids so much, and that we don't see our kids as assets. We see them as we see them as the future. The scary thing about it is you know how our students are responding to it.
hmm
um, People say COVID, and the kids are, they're doing this because of COVID, and that because of COVID, and I think COVID should be, or what happened during COVID, how we responded to COVID rather, should be a warning sign that maybe we're not going on the right path on how we interact with our young people,
hmm
because COVID only put a spotlight on a problem that already existed.
I agree,
Um,
1,000%.
um, and our young people are suffering mental health issues,
hmm
um, mainly because they're not. Our young people today are not. We're not putting them through a rites of passage,
mm
and so there is something to be said when you tell a child to be seen and not heard and stay in your place, and that you're not the center of attention. And in Jordan Peterson talks about children doing dangerous things safely.
hmm
You know, um, uh, how many young people now are in the Boy Scouts now, or in young ladies are in the Girl Scouts, or young ladies can be in the Boy Scouts now.
Yeah.
Um, and how much rigor, the helicopter parents, tiger
Mm.
moms. Um,
Yeah, we didn't
so
have
as
play dates. You and I, we didn't have play
no,
dates growing up. Heck,
there was no play dates. Yeah,
I'd ride my bike down the street with nothing but shorts on, no shoes, no
no
shirt.
helmet. No, I
Yep,
mean,
I'd wreck in the gravel. I'd get cut up. I was like, cool, I
you
got a
remember the
gnarly
pedals?
scab,
You
huh?
remember those pedals that we had around
Yeah, those if they
drip
swung back and
traps?
hit you in the shin, good, you're done.
It was, it was the guillotine and those pedals.
Yeah,
Um,
it almost want to take the guillotine because it's more humane.
exactly. You felt no pain. So as educators, I think that's where our focus really needs to be, is on making making sure our students are three things. Um, because let's face it, our young folks have access to information more than any other generation that ever
Mhm.
stepped foot in it. They can Google anything and get the answer quite quickly. We
Yeah.
had to go to the library, right? If you were fortunate enough to have a set of encyclopedias in your home, we had a set. We just didn't have B, C, E, M, Q, R.
So you're an expert on the letters that you had, but if you didn't
Right.
have the letter,
B, and things happened in B in 1964. I can tell you. Um, but
but once you got into the Q's or the
oh
M's,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
well,
yeah, 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 yeah. And so, we don't need to focus as much on the acquisition of knowledge more than we have to focus on what young people are doing with that knowledge,
Mm,
how they perceive that knowledge. Uh, can they identify objective facts against opinionated subjectivity?
yes,
Uh,
yes. Critical
and
thinking.
so, um, and then don't talk about critical thinking, and then dive into that critical thinking, dive into because they can get the facts easily. They can go Bixby or Siri,
Hmm.
tell me blah 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 blah. But what can they do with it? How can they go higher up the taxonomy, right, into
Yeah.
the realm of higher order thinking, and do something
Catch
with it?
full episodes of the Educators Podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. Real educators with the real issues in education. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, take care of yourself. Genes passes to anyone who likes, shares, and comments on this video. Have a great week.